Guys, it's Green What Ifs here, and today I'm going to be doing What If Deku Had Overhaul Part 3, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Part 3, actually. Is it Part 2 or is it Part 3? Yeah, it's Part 3, it's Part 3. So, yeah. Sorry I haven't done this one in a long time. I was trying to figure out a way to, change the ship so, it seems natural, because Izuku's already spent so much time with Uraraka, it would just be weird to add her in somehow out of nowhere. So, I fixed that, I kind of changed it up. And, yeah, there's something else to say. My next video should be what if Deku had, an eye quirk. So, yeah, that's gonna be amazing. Also, I'm reaching 200, so if you guys could please subscribe down below, because, at least 90% of you guys watching my video aren't subscribed. So, yeah, and without further ado, play my intro. Ooh, guys, you know what this is. We all know what this is. No, now my intro's done, I can finally do it. Ooh, this is what if Deku had overhaul. I'm not gonna lie, it's amazing. Like I said before, I don't own this picture. I don't own any of the pictures. Like, except for a few of them, which I made myself. Like this one, I don't own. The one with the my half silence, half sound quirk, I own that one. Yeah, that one's mine. Cause I made it. I edited it. So yeah, it's mine. Yeah. So I know this one's gonna be good. Yeah. So we're at the sports festival, and Deku and Momo, they get there together. Cause if you guys are gonna asking why, this is why I'm gonna do a small time flashback. With the power of rewind no jutsu, I kind of stole Aries' quirk, to rewind time for a bit for you guys. So with this power, I will go back 2 weeks. So this is at school where Izuku's talking to Uraraka. Uraraka leaves, but Deku's still there, packing up more of his stuff, because I'm gonna say that he brought some extra stuff to play with, like trying to work with his quirk, Then something weird happens. Momo approaches him, asking if they can train together, because Momo can see how strong Deku is, and Momo has kind of developed a bit of a crush, because in this one, I'm just gonna change it now. Izuku saved Momo. Like, I need to actually make that so he has a bit of a crush, and she also wants to train with Deku because she wants to become strong. So yeah, Izuku asks why. Then Momo claims that they're similar in a way, because it's kind of similar in a way, because he can create. She can create stuff while he can rearrange and destroy. So they're both kind of like creation quirks, and they complement each other. So because so she can just make a block of metal, and then Izuku can turn it into two swords. So it really complements each other, because think about it, Momo is technically your supply, while you are the inventor. So it's actually gonna be pretty amazing. It's actually the best combo. Since she can give him exactly what he needs. So yeah, Izuku decides, sure, why not? He's got time. Hey, he's gotta have time. So yeah, for the first few weeks, down. Nah, that's way too long. For the power of plot armor, I say that it takes her 1 month to master, to get to an intermediate stage, the middle stage of martial arts, because usually take a long time. But hey, power of plot. Also, the power of plot, in those 1 week, she also learned, so you can make things a lot faster, and she's more aware. You see another power of plot. You see, this is what happens whenever you're the author of something. You can just write things and they come true. So hey, I gotta make sure. So Now, the last week, Momo's parents are really enjoying Deku's company because they do talk to her, and they're fine with him. They're on like a friend basis. Like they wouldn't expect it, but hey, power of plot armor works very, very, very amazing. I mean, the power of plot. So my what if, whatever I want. So So this another 2 weeks. I mean, like the other week, they train more so she can create things that would usually take her like 10 seconds in about 3 to 2 seconds. So yeah, that's a big upgrade. And she can also make harder materials. And Izuku also crammed studying into there so she can learn more stuff. And yeah, throughout this, their relationship has grown very much to where Izuku has also developed a crush on her. So he also likes her. So it's the last day, Izuku's helping Momo. Then he's about to leave when Izuku's dad, comes up, and then he says, "Hey, you have my blessing." And Izuku's like, "What?" And he's like, "You have my blessing." And then he pushes Deku out and he closes the door, and then Deku takes a while to realize it. He's like, "Oh God." Yeah, he laughs a bit because he technically just gave Izuku the blessing. Why the fuck can't I speak English today? Like, come on, Folo, come on. Like, oh my God, I just put my name on my channel. But hey, they don't know my full name, so I'm fine. So, he just gave him his blessing, which, Deku didn't even have to ask for, it's just like, so it's like, sorry for the background noise, my little brother is crying. So it's technically like, he didn't even have to ask, he just came up and he was like, if you want, you can date my daughter, with the intention of marriage. So, that happens. They get to school. Izuku and Momo bumped into each other along the way, or actually not. Izuku came, to pick up Momo, because my dude's a gentleman, And yeah, on the way there, he's usually talking to Momo, and just for plot convenience, his relationship with Uraraka isn't as good as I made it seem in like the last 2 parts, because I need to make it not as good, because then how the heck is he gonna be talking with Momo so much and not Uraraka? So like it's not as good as before. So yeah, Izuku is what's he doing? Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm tripping. Like, I thought I did this from my last video, but I realized for the last video I did the overhaul. I mean USJ arc. So like I was thinking that I did it already, because before this I already tried to record this like 2-3 weeks ago. Actually no, like a month ago. But it didn't work out, so I deleted it. With the power of Thanos, it got snapped. Sorry for the random cut. My parents were doing something very loud, and I didn't want myself to be interrupted so that you guys couldn't hear me. So yeah, pretty sure I left off. I told you guys Uraraka's relationship with Deku won't be as good as before, or how I made it seem in the first video. So yeah. So Izuku's there talking to Momo on their way there. When they make it, they're in class. They talk a bit, before they head out to their separate seats. I'm pretty sure Izuku doesn't sit beside Momo. No, he doesn't sit beside Momo. So sit in separate seats. Then Aizawa comes up, tells them it's time for the sports festival. They change, they get there. And, I'm not a bit disappointed, but because, they want to see... Actually, scratch that. Never existed, but the power of me is Arthur. by power of me as the author, or the narrator of the narrator of the story. Snap, that never happened. So yeah, they get there. Izuku goes up to do the speech because he did get first place. Wait, was it recommendations or normal exams? Screw it. He got picked for a representative, so he's doing it anyways. If not, if he didn't get picked for representative, he's getting picked now. Screw it. So, yeah. He goes up to do a speech. That's a normal speech saying like, everyone tried their best. Even if you think you're gonna lose, you're so much better than you really think you are. Hope you guys have a good day, and remember to go beyond plus ultra, just like All Might. The cloud is inspired by this. Everyone doesn't think that everyone in class A is a dick, kind of like Bakugo. So now we start. So Izuku, they get ready. Nomura comes up. She hugs Izuku. Izuku says stop, and the people are surprised by this, but brush it off because sports festival. They don't have time to be worrying about this stuff. Nomura spins the wheel. It turns out to be an obstacle race. They all get ready. As soon as she cracks her whip on the floor, Todoroki faces the ground. At this, Izuku easily just touches the ice. Then he does something I'm gonna do because I have to make him very, very fast in this one. So he gathers all the ice because as long as they're touching, he can do some crazy stuff. Because all overhaul can send spikes from places that are a few feet, or sorry, like a few hundred feet away from him. We've seen him do it before. So yeah. So Izuku gathers all the ice, and then he starts connecting them into a path. So how this works is that Izuku puts the ice. So as he's touching it, he runs, and then he slides. At this, Izuku's making the ice with no friction, so he shouldn't really stop anytime soon. Also, while he's collecting the ice from the back, because this is how it's working. Like, he's going forward, and then he rearranges the ice from the back to the front. He keeps on going faster and faster, and to add a boost onto this, he does an earth wave, which brings him up, then puts him right back down. And because of the ice, he's going very, very fast. He passes Todoroki very quickly. Bakugo's trying to catch up, but he's just tied with Todoroki. So yeah, they get to the 0 pointers. Izuku just takes off. He already took off his gloves. Sorry if I didn't mention he took off his gloves. Izuku just taps the robot. Or just like falls apart. It just turns into dust. Like there's nothing left. And there Izuku, what's it called? Yeah, Izuku reaches to the area, what's it been called? Like the ravine, the gap, that big place. So he just acts like an obstacle, this big gap in the floor. Izuku just easily makes a path with the ice, not slowing down anytime soon, because he needs complete focus for this. And the way he's making the actually, because he has a lot of ice, so actually it shouldn't be possible. Because even though he has a lot of ice, it's not enough to make it through it. Because how he's doing it is that he's taking the one from the back to the front. So there's nothing at the back to stabilize it. How the heck is he gonna get it across? So first things first, he lets the floor make bridge. And he's been kneeling down the whole time, like on his feet, putting his hand down because he needs to put his hand to keep on giving these constant orders or you keep on rearranging them. So like this is him putting his quirk to the test, seeing how much focus he needs to use his quirk, because his quirk can be very dangerous in a matter of seconds. So he goes to, what's it called? He makes a earth bridge from the ground. Then he uses the remaining ice to slide over it so the bridge is like half made. Use the rest of the ice to get through easily. So yeah. And yeah, he's at the third obstacle. Todoroki and Bakugo at this point caught up, because it took. Actually, not. It couldn't have took him a few seconds to think about this, because he has to keep that constant momentum going. So yeah, he reaches the icebergs. At this, he stops the ice. He stops the ice, gets off, then puts it down again. At this, he rearranges all the explosives to go to like a different area, and he runs through in a straight line, gets to the end, then he puts them back, and just to F with Bakugo and Todoroki who are coming through. Sometimes he would tap his feet on the floor, which bombs would randomly go off. At this point, he's ready to cross the finish line. President Mike screams that Izuku Midoriya, first place. Astounding victory. And he gets there. Bombs are going off randomly, even though no one's touching them. This is Izuku. He's tapping his foot on the floor, and every time he taps his foot, he's rearranging the bombs to set off. So some burst in front of Bakugo, behind Bakugo, besides Todoroki. It makes it a bit harder, but they still get it through. Todoroki still gets second, while Bakugo gets third. Calvary Battle. Pretty easy. Izuku has Momo, Tokiyami, and Mei. And this one is pretty easy. He taps the floor. It creates this giant walls above him, kind of like a box. Then he goes underground. So when Bakugo and Todoroki finally got through the box, they realize that they're not there, and Izuku and Momo and Mei and Tokiyami have been traveling underground. I'm gonna say that Izuku's putting little spots of light, because if he doesn't, then Tokiyami's dark shadow will go berserk. Actually, easy fix. Izuku's holding Tokiyami's shoulder with his quirk. He's stopping Tokiyami's dark shadow from manifesting. So he's kind of like making a force field around it. So whenever it would come out, he would rearrange it back into Tokiyami. Kind of like a constant process, because he doesn't want Tokiyami to go berserk. So, yeah. Be right back. Sorry for another random cut. If you guys can hear background noise, which is very low, I'm doing laundry, so I had to put the washer in the dryer, stuff in the washer in the dryer. So yeah, they win the Calvary Battle by just going underground. Izuku's rearranging Dark Shadow back into Tokiyami, because he doesn't want Tokiyami to go berserk. So yeah. When the time's up, they come out the ground. Midnight says that they win, and yeah. Izuku versus Shinso. Before Shinso can even use mind control, Izuku just uses an. Actually, Shinso's able to mind control Izuku, as Izuku still doesn't know what his quirk is. So Izuku's about to walk out when his quirk activates by itself. His quirk is like kind of sentient. It's like not sentient enough to like have a conscious or like talk. It's sentient enough to like activate by itself. Like the will of the user is very, very strong. Like feel safe, like if they're mind controlled. So if overall was ever mind controlled, his quirk would activate to like protect him or like do what he wants. So his quirk activates. Princess of a wall right in front of him to stop him from leaving. You know, he smacks dead into the wall. He wakes up, you know. Shonen tries to get him to talk, then, you know, Izuku's not having any of us, you know. One tap, a pillar comes out, hits him straight in the stomach. My dude goes flying. He like Team Rocket style, like, bing. I'm just joking. He was flying into a wall, gets knocked out. Izuku said you should have changed your body, you should have changed your body too, you know. And then is Momo versus Tokiyami. She wins this one by using a flashbang because she realized that if the dark makes Tokiyami stronger, then you know, the light should make him weaker. So yeah, she wins this one, and she makes a flashbang very quickly, like, you know, like 4 seconds. So like you know, she also, you know, grabs a sword because Izuku taught her a bit of sword training. Because I'm gonna say that, you know, Izuku uses his scarf, like a scarf that, you know, like Aizawa has, just that, you know, he like, it's like, you know, the fluff around his jacket right now. He has something like that. Think of it as like the scarf. Think of it as like this is like the scarf, but, you know, it's gonna be longer and more scarf like, and, you know, it's still gonna be as fuzzy. Because I'm gonna say that these are like edges that, you know, they're very sharp. So if Izuku was to hit them at like a wall, the wall will, you know, get scratches and all that. So yeah, that's a slight change to the suit. So, you know, I'm gonna say that, you know, Izawa taught him. So, you know, he learned sword training. You know, female. Actually, so I just call her female. Momo wins it pretty easily. Momo versus Uraraka. Bakugo doesn't do as much as he did in canon. Like, it's way watered down because, you know, he still makes sure that, you know, Uraraka knows that, you know, he's giving his fight, you know, he's respecting her, but it's not to the extent of before. So, you know, because, you know, I'm gonna do something like so I gotta do something, you know. So what now? Izuku. Yeah. Izuku. Da 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 da. What the fuck? I'm so sorry for that, guys. Like, I'm very sorry for that. You know, whenever I'm trying to think, I just spout random words. So yeah. Izuku's right now is fighting Todoroki. They fight for a bit, you know. Izuku sending out earth spikes, and while Todoroki sending out icebergs, you know. They clash. Izuku ultimately wins because he can just, you know, keep on doing that. And if his side the arena gets clouded, he could just make a pillar and go up, or just use disintegration and, you know, completely destroy everything in, you know, of 10 feet, 12 feet radius, you know. So yeah, swipe. Like he's the definition of being swiped. Like, my dude can just swipe, and then, you know, you just die somehow. You be like, what the you die faster than you even realize. That's how OP disintegration is. Like, it puts Shigaraki's disintegration to shame. Like, Shigaraki has to put all 5 fingers on someone, right? You can just, like, tap my dude, and then he would just die. You know, it's like, ooh, sorry, my dude, but nothing here. So, yeah. What was it again? Yeah, so Izuku fights Todoroki. Yeah, he fights Todoroki. You know, Todoroki's starting to freeze up. Izuku tells Todoroki to use his fire. At this point, Izuku knows why he isn't using his fire. Then Izuku shouts, It's your quirk, not his." Because, you know, he gets a flashback of his mom saying you want to be a hero. And then, you know, she lights up and, you know, he thanks Midoriya. At this, Izuku, you know, eyes start to glow a bright yellow. or orange. If I didn't do this, I'm pretty sure I did this too in like my other USJ video, like when I recorded it before, but then I had to delete it. I'm pretty sure I was doing it in the USJ, just for memes, So this is gonna be a type of mode. I'm gonna call it complete control, cause that's what it is. So technically, this is him. Like, think of him rearranging his quirk from putting it to overhaul to just matter control. So he doesn't have to really think about anything. It's just like, if I want to do this, I can do this. It's gonna be a special thing that only Izuku's ability. Think of it as like a Pokemon with special abilities. That that one ability that says like evolution or like awakening, which allows them to awaken their quirk. So think of it as like an awakening. We're gonna call it complete control. So CC. And yeah, it's completely control, not crowd control. Just so you know, it's complete control. So he does that. Todoroki sends some fire and ice. In that massive wave as before. And this Izuku sends all massive pillar, like a massive amount of pillars. And this is when he also controls the air in the sky, to also make air spikes. And he brings them all down. Massive collision. Todoroki's flown back out of the stadium into a wall. He's still conscious, just barely. Half his shirt is burnt. The other half is, the other half is, not burnt because, the ice kept it cool. And, Izuku's just barely staying in because he made a wall behind him. So, yeah, the impact when fling him out of the stadium, he puts his hand up, he's thinking that he's winning. Everyone cheers. Is everyone happy? So, yeah. So, yeah. Izuku wins. Now, Momo versus Bakugo. Momo has to lose this. I'm sorry I have to do this, but, like, Momo's only been training with Izuku for 2 weeks. Like, even if I was to put the power of plot to use, it wouldn't make sense. So, like, sorry, guys. Plot can't save her this time. I make it sound like she's gonna die, but she's a ship. She has to stay alive. So and even if she does die, I can just bring her back. I know explanations needed. I am the king of this what if. So all bow down to me. Dang it. I'm sounding like Nux Taku, Lord Noxenor. Damn it, I said his name. But I actually go watch him. He's decent. Like, this is not a shout out. I'm just saying that, he's a good YouTuber. Also watch Infernatsu, because I also love his videos. He's very good. He makes good ABA videos, and he's also makes some good Universal Time. And right now he's on Shinobi Life 2, which, I'm also playing, I don't get how I can use 65 spins and not get Sharingan, So, like, it kind of hurts. So, pretty much it. Sorry for ranting, I'm supposed to be doing what if deku had overall, not telling people to go watch other YouTubers. So, but you can watch them after you finish my video. So, yeah, Izuku, Momo versus Bakugo. Very one-sided because Izuku or Bakugo kind of hates Izuku. And, one-sided, even with her martial arts or physical training that she got from Izuku, it's not enough. So she gets bodied. Sorry to tell you, but she gets bodied. Like, it's abuse at this point. So yeah, she gets bodied. Izuku sees this, it's not, she's more like, he's using explosions everywhere, which this is orienting her. And, he kind of blinded her using, explosion to the face, close, smoke, blinded her. He also threw some sand, dirty tactics. But, all is fair in love and war. So, he wins, Then, he gets up, 5-minute break, Zuko's talking to Momo. He does Momo that she did a great job. Even though she lost, she did an amazing job, Momo cries by this, Izuku fights Bakugo and to CC immediately buys Bakugo. Can't really do the fight. That's all. See you later, guys. Peace out.